And now, ladies and gentlemen, we begin the evening with a reading from Christabel, the epic poem by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. "'Tis the middle of the night by the castle clock, and the owls have awakened the crowing cock. To whit, to whoo, and hark, again the crowing cock. How drowsily it crew! Sir Leoline, the baron rich, hath a toothless mastiff bitch. From her kennel beneath the rock she maketh answer to the clock. 4 for the quarters and 12 for the hour, ever nigh by shine and shower. 16 short howls, not over loud. Some say she sees my lady's shroud. Is the night chilly and dark? The night is chilly, but not dark. A thin grey cloud is spread on high, covers, but not hides the sky. The moon is behind and at the full, and yet she seems both small and dull. The night is chill, the cloud is grey. 'Tis a month before the month of May, and spring comes slowly up this way." You know, this poem goes on for a long time. Instead, why don't we switch over to Bill and Callie, who promise not to go on for a long time.
The Bill and Kelly Show is recorded at Studio A at Executive Suite Squared in beautiful Hammond, Indiana. Now, here's Bill and Kelly. Hello and welcome to our show tonight. First, I'd like to thank our guest announcer and friend, author David Benjamin, who you just heard recite that poetry. What an amazing read. I would like to let you know that David will be coming on our show within the near future to discuss his new book that will be released in October. So our first guest is Michael Mercurio of Humble Design Chicago. Then be our second guest, Elvira Martinez of Paws and People. Then we'll wrap up the evening with our special musical guest, Eli Hernandez. And with that, we'll get on to our first guest, Michael Mercurio of Humble Design. With us today is Mike Mercurio, who is the Director of Operations for Humble Design Chicago. Michael, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
We're honored to have you on. So why don't you tell us a bit about yourself, first of all, and how Humble Design Chicago came to be?
Sure, absolutely. So as Bill mentioned, I'm Mike Mercurio. I'm Director of Operations here at the Humble Design Chicago. And I grew up in Connecticut, but moved to Chicago in 2000 and my background has been in technology. Was a technology consultant for a number of years. My wife and we've had 2 children, and I needed to take some time away from work. I was traveling quite a bit. I wanted to take some time away from work and spend help raising our children. And I did that for a number of years. And then when I was done with that for about 5 years, I really started to sort of think about what I wanted to do coming out of that. And I really wanted to get involved in an agency or an organization that really has social impact. So I looked at a number of different organizations in the Chicago area, really liked the mission that Humble Design has, and really wanted to support that. So I've been with Humble Design over a year now. Humble Design itself has been operating since March of 2017. We operate in the city of Chicago. Humble Design itself is a larger national organization. We have cities that are operating in Seattle, San Diego, Detroit, and as well as Cleveland. And as I mentioned, Chicago, we've been operating since 2017.
And so explain a bit about what you do and how you provide furnishings to folks who normally wouldn't be able to afford them.
Sure. So the mission at Humble Design is to take donated furnishings and provide them to people that are recently emerging from homelessness. So these are individuals that are in a shelter or living doubled up with family members. They may be living out of their car. They don't really have a place to call home. We have partnering relationships with different social service agencies in the city of Chicago. These agencies are working with individuals and families directly in the shelters, and they're finding housing. So once housing is secured, a family can be referred to us by our partnering agencies. We contact the family. We have some general information about the family and their circumstances. We contact the family and do an initial interview with them to understand what their needs and requirements are, how many children they have, what are the ages. What we're really trying to do is tailor a package of home goods and furnishings that directly reflects what the family needs and wants. The families have been placed into housing, but oftentimes because they come from a homeless situation, they don't have the means to provide furnishings for themselves. They're often sleeping on the floor. If they're lucky, they have a blow-up mattress. And a lot of times these are single mother families with a number of children, anywhere from 2 to 4 children on average for us. And we really want to help them create stability around their new housing situation. They've gone through a tough time. They have been homeless at some point. They now have secured housing, and we want to help foster the security that they have in that housing by giving them a leg up, by providing all of the furnishings that they may need in their home. And that's everything that you would have in your home. So that can be everything that goes in the kitchen, plates, silverware, kitchen table, kitchen chairs, sofa, beds. A lot of our families, and especially the children, may have not ever have slept in a bed prior to receiving beds from us. So what we really want to do is give them a leg up, create stability, have them maintain their housing, and let them move on with their lives and look forward to a better future.
Now, just to clarify this, your relationship is really with the social service providers in the Chicago area or city of Chicago proper. And they are the ones who refer these people to you. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. So an example is Catholic Charities, Inspiration Corporation, New Moms, Heartland Alliance. These are all social service agencies operating in the city of Chicago. They have case managers that are working with individuals and families in the shelters themselves, and they are actively looking to place families into a stable housing situation. Again, once the housing is secured, our partners will refer clients to us, and then we will engage with the clients by contacting them. A lot of the times, as I mentioned, these clients are single mothers. 75% of them have children have children of school age, and what we'd like to do is really provide the type of furnishings that they need to start their lives fresh again.
So if someone does contact you directly, you can put them in contact with one of your agencies that you work with.
Exactly. So we do receive calls quite frequently, look for individuals without any references, and we typically cannot take those individuals as clients. It's a requirement of ours that they are referred directly through a social service agency, so that they have those wraparound supports that are really going to be helpful to get them in a position where they can move on with their lives. So it's the support that's important. We're augmenting those social service agencies by delivering these services that are typically difficult to find. Again, the families to spend, if they were to spend out of their own pockets for a lot of these goods, on average, the package of furnishings that we deliver can range anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000. These are all donated items. I should mention that and be clarified on that. Typically, we have donors dropping off furniture and decor at our location in Chicago on Tuesdays and Wednesdays of every week from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We receive donations. Also, within the Chicago area, we have a truck that will pick up donations for individuals if they have larger items that they were unable to drop off to us. So we're constantly receiving in home goods. All the home goods, we ask that they be clean, free of stains, rips, tears, in good condition, something that you'd want in your home. We don't want to pass along items that you wouldn't accept in your own home. Right. So they need to be relatively good quality, in good condition.
Right. And so what if someone is moving or is looking to upgrade, how do they contact you if they're wanting to make a donation? And to keep in mind, for your organization, this is within the city of Chicago, but as you mentioned, this organization also exists in other places like Cleveland and such as that, correct?
That's correct.
All
So
right.
there's a number of ways they can contact us. Primarily, and the best way is to go directly through the webpage, or humbledesign.org is our website, and you can go to our website. From the website, you can do a number of things. You can donate directly financially to help support our cause. You can donate furniture directly, request a pickup for furniture and look at our operating hours and understand how we operate. I mean, it's worth mentioning that all the services that we provide to the families that are our clients are free of charge. So we do not charge for any of the services we provide. All of the furnishings are free to the families in need. We try to service as many families as we possibly can, and do that at the bare minimum cost as we're possible. So we're constantly trying to look for efficient ways and drive cost efficiencies within our organization to deliver these package of goods in a timely manner to the families in need. I will say we've had to adjust our operations slightly for COVID. So historically, we would go into the family homes and actually deliver the goods and install all the furnishings within the family's home prior to COVID. Since COVID, we've been doing things a little bit differently. Our protocol requires us or prevents us from going directly into the client home. So what we're able to do is at least drop off the items curbside at the family's door. They can then move the items the final leg into their home. And a lot of times these are larger, bigger items, sofas, beds, mattresses. They can rely on help from other family members they might have, their neighbors, their friends, to kind of help them move their items that final step. And then we're hoping once we come back out of our sort of COVID operations to get back into family homes, because that's what we really like to do. And the idea, again, is we deliver these goods. They go from absolutely nothing in a situation where they're sleeping on the floor. If they're lucky, they have a blow-up mattress, to a fully furnished home with all the things that you would require in a home to feel comfortable and to feel secure.
That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. And again, the whole concept is to give them a foot up on a new start. It's
Absolutely
not a short-term solution. What you're hoping is that you provide furnishings so that family is safer. They're not sleeping on the floor and getting exposed to all sorts of nasty things. They have elevated sleeping. They have chairs and tables that they can eat off of, and so on. That's absolutely wonderful. Now, you mentioned that also you have packages. So if you have a single mother with two children, you have packages based upon the number of rooms they have in the apartment or the house that you bundle together and deliver for that particular size family.
Absolutely. So we know from just experience doing this what every family would need for their specific size, and size in terms of the number of individuals in the family, as well as the size of their units. Again, historically, we were able to go into the units themselves. We would measure the rooms, for example, to understand what furnishings could actually fit inside. We rely on our clients' help now to kind of give us a general rough idea of the kind of space they're working with and what type of furnishings would actually fit. But we generally know, based on our experience, what will work and what won't work. And we are able to gather those items. And again, we orient ourselves around the client's desires, what they'd like in terms of their colors, their design aesthetic. If they're looking for specific types of furniture in a specific style, we'll try to accommodate those requirements as the best we can. Again, we're working primarily with donated goods, so we'll use our inventory of donated goods and select the items that best reflect the individual style and what they'd like to have in their homes. The one thing to keep in mind, and we like to, and we're very proud of, is our relationships with our corporate sponsors. We have a number of corporate sponsors. CB2 is a city sponsor for Chicago. They provide us with financial support as well as provide us with material support. So they're giving us things such as sofas, lamps, bedstands, or nightstands, I should say. And they actually provide volunteer hours. They'll send their design team into our warehouse they'll create the package for the family, and we'll deliver that package with their help. So it's a great opportunity for them to get involved. We also have a number of different corporate relationships. U-Haul organization provides us with warehouse space, which is a great thing for us. We have a 45,000 square foot warehouse in Chicago, Illinois, and they also provide us with a vehicle to pick up items, to deliver items, and that's a huge bonus and benefit to us. It helps us complete our mission. And I'll give out our address as well, just so everybody knows where we are. We're at 431 West Pershing Road in Chicago, Illinois. That's 60609 is our zip code. We're effectively right behind White Sox Park, if anyone's familiar with that, the area in the Bridgeport, the far east side of the Bridgeport area, the neighborhood, I should say. And we have great space, and we have a great group of people that come and actually help us. Not only are we working the 6 individuals that are working here full time, we also have volunteers that come and work with us weekly. They help do a number of things in our warehouse, and primarily they're helping us sort through all the donations that we receive, but they also help us pull items for the families, organize those items, make sure everything is clean, make sure everything is ready to go. And we have volunteer hours every Tuesday and Wednesday right now from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. People can go directly to our website to sign up if they'd like to come down and volunteer. Again, that's humbledesign.org. You simply scroll to the bottom of the page, and there's a button there for volunteer opportunities, and you'll see Chicago, and have access to our calendar, which will show every opportunity we have for the next 4 to 6 weeks, and you can sign up for whatever works for your schedule. We'd love to have people come down and join us, and we do everything safely. We have COVID protocols in place. Everybody is screened before they enter, and we have our large warehouse, so we're able to keep safe distance. And we've been working with volunteers again in our new COVID protocol era for at least the past month and a half, and everything has been running very smoothly.
Yeah, and everyone's adapting. I mean, this is traumatic times, but it seems like the mission is valid. We got to make it work, and in your case, it is providing people with a safer living environment is absolutely wonderful. Before we wrap up the show, why don't you talk to us about some fundraisers that you have? You just had one recently on August 31st. It was a virtual 5K. So explain that, and also any other fundraising opportunities that you have.
Absolutely. So we look at fundraising in 2 different regards. We work with private individuals that might want to volunteer or donate with us. For example, that virtual 5K, which just happened over the weekend, it was a great way for people to contribute, even though they may not be able to come physically to our location. We effectively ran a 5K that you run at your leisure whenever you have time. And we're collecting all the data right now for the runners. We'll be posting times, and it gives people a way to contribute, a sense of community, feel like they're helping out while being able to do it in a way that they feel comfortable with and feel safe about. And we extend those virtual opportunities not only to individuals, but also to corporations. One of the ways that we finance our operation here is through what we call a sponsored day of service, where we have corporations volunteer their employee hours. So they'll send a team of their employees to us. They'll help out in our warehouse. They also can help out virtually. We do a number of things virtually with organizations. So, if anyone's listening that has an organization, would like to contribute, or if you're just an individual and you would like to contribute, please feel free to contact us at Humble Design. The best way to reach us is at infochi@humbledesign.org. That's INFOCHI at humbledesign.org. And our primary office number is 773-285-2800. If anyone has questions, please feel free to contact us. We can provide information about how you might be able to contribute and how you might be able to donate and support us financially as well.
Great. And Michael, we appreciate you sharing that information. We'll make sure that that's part of our video when it drops on our show. So that will be great. Michael, we appreciate what you guys are doing. It is helping out the community, and you qualify for what we love supporting, the Bill and Kelly Show love. And it's a wonderful service. There's even in this time and age, this is going to change our community. for a long period of time. Not, there's problems before COVID, but with COVID, people are losing housing, and they need help. And so you're one of those people are stepping right up to the plate and helping them out. So we appreciate that. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we wrap things up?
I just want to give people a sense of the volume of what we're doing, of the volume of people that we're actually helping. So, on average this year for 2020, we'll have helped 100 families, and that'll equate to roughly 300 individuals. To date, since our inception in 2017, we've helped over 700 individuals, over 200 homes furnished, completely furnished. And again, I just wanted to share this last statistic, which is on average, the national average of people falling back into homelessness once they've found housing hovers around 50%. So once a homeless someone moves out of a homeless situation into a more secure housing situation, the likelihood that they'll fall back into homelessness is up to 50%. We found through our relationships with our partners that a lot of our clients, once they come through our services, we have a retention rate of over 95%, which means from a year beyond the point that our clients were serviced by Humble Design, they remain housed. So it's a great statistic that kind of helps speak to the things that we're doing in the ability to create stability in housing and allow people to move on with their lives and move beyond their homelessness situation into a more secure, brighter future for themselves and their families.
Right. And a part of this program is getting social services involved to help as partners with you so that they check up on the family and make sure that they're seeking employment or what have you to better their lives now that they've been given a step up to help. And that's just a wonderful process. That's great. So, Michael, boy, we can't tell you enough how much we appreciate you coming on our show. We're honored. And
my pleasure.
We'll keep in contact, maybe call you back on the show to get some updates on what's going on or anything else we can help out with. We'll be more than happy to.
Thank you for having us. It's great to be here. And thank you for spreading the word, helping us spread the word about Humble Design.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. With that... Well, we would like to thank Michael for sharing information about Humble Design Chicago. And now to our second guest, Elvira Martinez of Paws and People. With us today, we have Elvira Martinez, who is part of an organization called Paws and People. Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for having us. I appreciate it.
Oh, we heard about what you're doing, and we think it's great, so we couldn't wait to get you on. Why don't you tell us a bit about yourself and how you came to be in this area, and also tell us about how you started this awesome organization and some of the neat things that it does.
Okay. Originally born and raised in Chicago, moved out here quite a while ago looking for a little bit slower pace than what the city was able to offer. Have been out here in the Hammond area for about 20 years now. So I like it out here. I can't see myself going back at the moment. The organization as a whole kind of started because we wanted to work on an animal shelter. So then there came a situation where my son actually had a job interview, and he was, teenager, typical teenage, hey, I need to find a job type of situation. And he went to this place that he thought he was a shoo-in for, and it didn't pan out. So I just called the lady who interviewed him one day, and I was like, hey, just out of curiosity, what happened? Why didn't you guys hire him? Well, he didn't interview well. He didn't interview well. What happened? She said, well, at the point of the interview where I had asked him why he wanted the job, he told me because my mom's going to throw me out when I turn 18. And I was like, wait, what? He actually said that? She says, yeah. And I felt a little uncomfortable with that. And so, I didn't think that was appropriate. I was like, oh, I get it. I understand completely. So, there was that conversation with her. And then I had actually spoken to the assistant principal at the time at the school where he was at. And I was like, hey, your friend over here went on this job interview, and would you believe he told the lady interviewing him that I was going to throw him out when he turned 18? And the crazy thing is, the assistant principal kind of shook his head, and he's like, he's not the only one that thinks it's okay to say stuff like that. But wait a minute, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, he's not the only one. If you ask most of them at this point, that's pretty much the same answer they're going to give you. They're looking, I don't know for what. Yeah, that's not okay. So we started brainstorming. We're like, okay, how are we going to put the animal shelter with helping the kids? Because that's really who needs it right now, is these kids. This is our future. And it came about, okay, well, we'll go ahead and we'll do these seminars. We'll teach them professionalism. We'll teach them interview etiquette. We'll teach them financial literacy. And then we'll have them do like an externship of about 100 hours at an animal shelter, because they really always need help. This is a great opportunity for them to showcase everything that we've gone over with them, and their opportunity to shine. At the end, maybe we'll join some employers and we'll see if they can go ahead and hire some of our graduates or participants, whatever you want to call them, and make things a little bit easier for them. It gives them a stepping stone for their resumes. It gives the animals the help that they need. So it's kind of helping two great causes at the same time.
Right. And, as everyone working in a school district will tell you, they've been tasked to do a lot. I mean, anytime a change in environment, sex ed and, safety, now they've got to spend valuable instructional time going over safety requirements. And then they get into, school safety situations and any other thing that the state asks to lump on teachers. So this is actually, and that's why they used to have, back in my day, which is back in the Stone Ages, of course, they used to have a business class that we all had to take, and it taught basic budgeting, how to write a resume. But as demands on schools grew, they had to eliminate a lot of these. And, a lot of people are saying, gosh, kids don't know how to budget. They don't know how to do a resume. So this is awesome. So you're offering those services.
Absolutely.
And, teaching kids how to interview so they don't say stupid things.
I was so embarrassed.
It's just adolescence. But from their perspective, because they just haven't developed that maturity, that probably sounded good to them. It's say my mom's going to kick me out, which probably is the truth, right?
It was so not. I've never thrown any of them out.
Well, don't let him know that. See, it gets them to think they've got to get a job or go to school before they turn 18. So yeah, just take it from a parent of 3. Just always keep that question in their mind. No, all kidding aside. So now this is coupled with really animal shelters. And with the hopes that eventually down the road that you will have your own animal shelter, so you have almost like a training center based upon an animal shelter. Awesome. That's awesome. As what kid doesn't want to work in an animal shelter, right?
Hey, as a kid, if I had been offered that opportunity, I'd probably somewhere in that field. My field is a little bit completely different than what I decided to start the nonprofit organization based on. But still working with people and things like that.
So right now your hope is to develop relationships with animal shelters so you have placement for these kids that are looking for work and need to learn how to get to job on time and how to budget their money, interview well, and that's awesome. So right now you're at the stage of where you are you're sending them out to an animal shelter with the eventuality of getting your own. So let's look at what that looks like. So eventually the goal is to have your own animal shelter, and obviously the funds. So what type of fundraising is available or donation opportunities?
Well, we put a lot of our information on our Facebook page. So we do have our Paws and People Facebook page. There is a donate button on our website as well, www.pawsandpeople.org. And we're actually in the middle of getting ready to do the fundraisers. We've got one coming up, if I'm not mistaken, the date is September 23rd. That falls on a Wednesday for Buffalo Wild Wings in Cherryville. So we'll be there that night. And then for October, we're actually doing our own, which is the Paws and People Trunk or Treat. So it's giving families the opportunity to go trick-or-treating a little bit more safely than what we're traditionally used to. And we're setting up at the Love and Oven Pizzeria parking lot. And so they're borrowing us their parking area, and we're going to do a little trunk or treat there with vendors and, you know, people passing out candy and stuff like that. So we're definitely looking for more vendors, definitely looking, you know, for individuals who want to come out and have a good time.
Yeah.
So we're doing that. And then, of course, I had to jump on the Black Friday thing. And the day after Thanksgiving, which I believe is the 27th, we're doing a fundraiser at Five Below from the 27th to December 2nd. So they show the flyer saying that they're supporting us, and they give us a portion of the proceeds, just like Buffalo Wild Wings will.
Great. Yeah.
So that's how we're closing out the year.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and, you know, you got a donate button. Besides these with restaurants, are there any like other events coming up? You mentioned that you do your own event, right? So anything down the future, something that, you know, like a rummage sale or raffle?
We're going to do raffle definitely at the trunk or treat. We got a couple of things that were, you know, donated to us. So we're going to go ahead and raffle those off at the trunk or treat. We really had a lot more planned, and then COVID hit. We were planning this would have been our second annual Color Hustle that we had to kind of revamp. So we're hoping to bring that back in 2021, where it's a color run. And we had a great time, and we're looking to expand that as well. So we're looking for either spring or fall of 2021, depending on how COVID works out for us.
Right. Oh man, yeah, it has really changed our world. Every non-for-profit we talk to, and oh my goodness, yeah, it's one of these things where you just hope for the best. And and so, are there any animal shelters now that you work with?
As of right now, no. And we've kind of put our feelers out there and stuff like that. There was one organization who did respond, and we just haven't. It's kind of, I know they're super busy, so it's kind of like playing phone tag with them. Right. So to nail it down, and we're hoping to get that all squared away soon, very soon.
Oh, awesome. Boy, this is a great opportunity. And so, and as far as volunteers, are you looking for anyone to help out with some of the training?
Definitely. It depends on, of course, their experience level and things like that. So we would definitely welcome. It's an ever-changing process. No two seminars that we do are ever the same. I am an instructor, you know, this is just what I do. So no two classes of mine are ever the same. We're always tweaking things. We're always evolving. We're always trying to get better. So, always opportunities for volunteers. If it's not for the seminars themselves, then it would be for some of our events and stuff like that. And to be very honest, a lot of our participants and our volunteers are former participants of the program.
Oh, you know, wow.
Things like that. Yeah, so we kind of reach out, hey, you want to help us out for such and such? Sometimes people just find us. They're like, hey, do you guys need volunteers? And it's like, absolutely. Yeah, we can definitely fit you in somewhere.
Yeah. Whether it be helping out with the workshop, teaching kids how to write a resume or budgeting and what have you. So, boy, it sounds like a great opportunity, especially when schools can't offer this themselves, but yet it's a valuable learning opportunity for students to have. Boy, this sounds absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
So is there any other information you'd like to share with us? And all this, your website and everything will be with the video when it drops probably a week from now. So sure. Is there any other information you'd like to share?
Our Facebook page is probably the best source of the most current information and things that we're planning and things that we're brainstorming. That's kind of how we keep up with everything. Our website as well. Always open to new ideas, always looking for people who really just want to join and they feel, you know, this is something that they'd really be interested in as far as helping out. We're always looking for some type of help, you know, even just for the additional input for our board meetings. Hey, what do you think? What's your opinion? Always getting different opinions helps a whole lot. This way we can tweak things and make things better. For our seminars, we usually provide them sandwiches and something to eat and things like that. And then we give them their folders and things for them to keep up with stuff. So definitely always doing the donations and keeping the fundraising train going is really what we're trying to do.
Right. And as far as when you eventually get an animal shelter of your own, is any specific area? Are you looking to stay around the Hammond area, more North Lake County, South Lake County, or?
I would love to stay in the Hammond area. I really, really would. But we're just looking around at properties and stuff and finding stuff. It's like, that's not commercial-ish enough if we put a shelter, or that's like, yeah. So we're finding our way around when it comes to looking for an actual location. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Like, if I can snap my fingers and make it happen, I totally would.
Yeah, because it's it sounds like a neat opportunity, and boy, that's one thing that people don't understand. And once we get beyond this pandemic, is they always go to these pet stores and things to pick up a dog, and they don't realize some of the inbreeding that happens and some of the absolutely unethical way of those animals getting to that pet shop, where, boy, there's so many stray dogs and so many dogs looking for a forever home. Family has to move across the United States and they can't take the dog with them, which is that would be heart-wrenching for us. Well, maybe
actually why I bought my house.
Oh, really?
I was renting an apartment, and not an apartment, it was a house. I was renting the house, and I had been there for a good 4 or 5 years. And my landlord finally came around 4 or 5 years later. It's like, hey, you can't have this dog. It was a big old Rottweiler. I was like, okay, so yeah. And that was like my baby at that point. So I was like, okay. So then we put the wheels in motion. I was like, yeah, no, I need to buy a house so this doesn't happen again. And he's got somewhere to be until God, take him from us. And that's exactly what happened.
Oh boy, yeah. I think every place should allow dogs. That's my own personal opinion. I ran a similar situation. I was about to, after I sold my house, I was about to rent a place in Michigan City. It was a condo. It had a boat slip and all. It was just like a dream come true. And everything got mentioned except that I had a dog. And when I walked in and saw these floors, I said, I'll make sure we keep up the floors in case they get scratched. What do you mean scratched? I said, well, I have a dog. Stop. Boom.
Oh no!
Yeah. Oh boy, it was a nice place too. Right on the lake. See, Dexter? What I wouldn't see what I've done for you. I give up. He doesn't appreciate it. He just wants the food. Not. Yeah, he just looks at me and stares and wants to be taken out or given more food. So, this is an absolutely wonderful opportunity to provide training, and eventually you're opening up an animal shelter, which to me is always good. There's always opportunity for people to rescue dogs and so on. So that is wonderful. Anything else you want to share before we wrap up the show?
Oh goodness, I think that was pretty much the roundup of everything that we're trying to accomplish and plan for. Looking forward really for this COVID to finally let us be and make things happen the way we wanted to.
Right. So, oh man. Yeah. I tell you, it's a cruel thing.
Yeah, it's a terrible situation, but really, we're really, really wanting to bring back the color hustle.
Yeah,
that's a whole lot of fun for us.
Oh, the color run, did you say?
Yeah, it's a color run, but we called it the Paws and People color hustle.
Yeah, I know that's the one where you squirt color on people, right?
Yeah,
as they come.
Yeah, the color powder and people. Yeah, we had one participant last year. He was covered from head to toe in purple and green. I was like, wow, they got you good, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that, because I'm trying to run more, so we'll see.
Love to have you.
Boy, this sounds great. Keep in touch with us. Anything new, just get in touch and we'll get you back on the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on our show and being our guest. And with that, we'll wrap up. Well, that's the show for tonight. We would like to thank Michael Mercurio of Humble Design Chicago for sharing information about what they do for the people in need in Chicago. We would also like to thank Elvira Martinez for sharing information about Paws and People and their mentoring process, teaching teens basic job skills and interviewing techniques. And now we'd like to thank you all for tuning in tonight. We would also wish you a very safe and enjoyable evening. With that, I'll turn it over to our special musical guest, Eli Hernandez.
Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the Bill and Callie Show. Excited to be playing you guys a couple songs. Hope you guys enjoy. This one's called Just to Be With You. Oh baby, I wish we could be together, you and me, and maybe in time you will come to see that I think you're one of a kind, very hard to find, but now that you're here, I wanna make you mine. Oh girl, don't hesitate. Oh please, don't make me wait. Because if you could see what I could see, then you know I'm so crazy about everything that you do. I just can't get enough of you. Oh girl, I try every single time that we talk, but I can't find words to say to keep me on your mind. Now I wish I knew exactly what to do, so you could see all the things I do and all I'd go through just to be with you. Just to be with you, yeah. Oh girl, don't hesitate. Oh please, don't make me wait. 'Cause if you could see what I could see, then you know I'm so crazy about everything that you do. I just can't get enough of. If you could see what I could see, then you know I'm so crazy about everything that you do. I just can't get enough of you. Oh baby, I wish we could be.
This episode of The Bill and Callie Show is brought to you by Tiger Plumbing. Whether you need to replace a faucet, overhaul your sump pump, or desludge your drains, call Tiger Plumbing. In today's world, knowing who's at your door is important. Tiger Plumbing sends you your technician's photo, estimated time of arrival, and a little bit about him or her. Hey, Sam likes fishing and camping. Cool.